Welcome to Eric Unfiltered. I am your host, Eric, a Gen Xer from Connecticut, where I get into local and national news, politics, and culture. No topic is off limits, no feelings are spared. No mainstream sugar-coated BS here. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's get on with the show. Welcome back. Hopefully everybody's doing well today. If not, hopefully it gets better. All I know is it is gorgeous out today. I'm looking out my window right now at the sunshine, and the windows are open. It's beautiful. Before I get started, though, because of the warm weather, and I know it's going to start getting a little colder. We're not totally out of the winter woods yet, but one thing I noticed today on my way home that I have not seen in a while, lots of motorcycles. So now that the warmer weather's starting to come back, keep your head on a swivel out there. There are people on bikes, especially like today is gorgeous. It's like 72 out. It's amazing. Anyways, I wanted to record this episode because this is strictly for Connecticut residents. At the state capitol tomorrow, Wednesday, March 11th, they are allowing us, the people, us peasants, to speak our anger over specific things, specifically 3 House bills, which I'm going to get into. I know I did a post on my social media for you to look up HB 5468, 5044, and 5043. I will, like I said, I'm going to get into those. I'm not going to get into all the the legal mumbo jumbo, the government speak, because come on, let's face it. I don't care who's in charge. It doesn't matter what party and all that crap. It's government speak, and they're going to be basically writing the bill saying, we're here for you. Trust us. It's great. No, never trust them. I don't care who's in charge. I ain't trusting you. But a lot of people are going to be at the state capitol tomorrow airing their grievances until midnight when they're shutting the mics off and basically telling everybody to go home, which I've heard rumors that they can't do that, but they're going to. Anyways, so I went into Grok and I typed in the HB and looked up the information. As I said, I'm not going to get into all of this stuff that the government says this is good for you. I'm going to get into why are people complaining? Like, okay, you're complaining about this. Why? Because a couple of these bills, well, one of them in particular, does not affect me at all. It's about homeschooling. I don't have kids. It doesn't affect me. But I love the fact that people can homeschool. I am a big proponent of it. And, I don't like government overreach into effing everything we do. So I'm going to get into first, I'm going to start with HB 5468, titled An Act Concerning the Provision of Equivalent Instruction. Sure. Okay, I'll pretend that makes sense. Was introduced in the Connecticut General Assembly on March 5th, 2026, and referred to the Joint Committee on Education. A public hearing is scheduled for March 11th, 2026. I may repeat myself, and I'll try to skip over some of this stuff, but again, it's an AI search, so as per usual, little grain of salt. Okay, let's see, where did I leave off? The bill aims to repeal and replace Section 10-184 of the Connecticut General Statutes, which has governed parent-directed education, including homeschooling, since its origins in a 1650 colonial law. 1650. Evolving over 276 years, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. The new framework introduces mandatory registration, reporting, and oversight for, quote, equivalent instruction, end quote, for homeschooling, shifting from a system with minimal state intervention, which I'm a fan of, to a point, minimum state intervention to one with structured compliance requirements. Now, This is the crux of it. They're trying to say, these homeschoolers, rabble, they're getting away with, There's a lot of people that homeschool, and their kids are a lot smarter than your honor roll student. Trust me. And half their age. But any hoozles. This stems from This is in response to concerns about child safety prompted by cases like the 2025 death of 11-year-old Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia and the alleged long-term isolation of a Waterbury man where homeschooling was cited as a means to conceal abuse. Okay. Where was DCF? Oh, that's right. DCF was involved and knew about these individuals years ago and then just moved on. There was no fire where there was smoke. Until the guy, lit his room on fire because he was tired of being captive. But this, okay. I should continue on before I continue on. Okay, supporters, including lawmakers of the Children's Committee, argue it provides safeguards without banning homeschooling, which they would love to do, ensuring children receive an equivalent education and allowing quick intervention in potential abuse cases. Like the guy in Waterbury. Really? I talked about this. I'm not alone. DCF and people, that needed to know were involved in that, and they went to the house, and they found nothing. That was, 18 years ago when the guy fell through the cracks. So we got to crack down on homeschoolers. This is, okay. All right. So the the bill's effective date for most provisions is July 1st, 2027, with phased implementation. It applies to children ages 5 to 18. Yeah, like school-aged kids. Duh. Key changes include in-person filings, annual submissions, Department of Children and Families involvement in withdrawals, and eventual academic progress demonstrations. Some of that stuff we kind of should have had already. People are allowed to homeschool, right? Yeah, no shit. Duh. You don't have like an equivalency? Why not? You would think you would have something like, oh, your 14-year-old you say is graduating high school now? Here, fill this out. And the kid passes, 94. Congratulations. Your 14-year-old just graduated high school. You guys didn't have this already? The state of Connecticut, who loves to have their hands in everybody's orifices, didn't have any. Okay. Opposition to HB 5468 is widespread among homeschooling families. Words. I went to public school. Can you tell? Advocacy groups like the Homeschool Legal Defense Association and conservative organizations with over 500 written testimonies submitted against it as of early March 2026. Some sources cite that there is over 600. Okay, 500, 600. There's a lot. People are pissed. All right, where we go? Critics argue it unnecessarily burdens law-abiding families while failing to address root causes of abuse. Yeah, no kidding. So here's the thing, too. Like, you have a kid, you don't feel the school's, adequate enough for whatever the reason, and you decide to pull your kid out of school, and you're like, you know what? The husband's going to do all the full-time work, or mom's going to work full-time because, she's rolling into dollars. Okay, and you want to homeschool? You will now have to contact DCF. They will have to create a file on you. Yeah, like you're a criminal. That's what's in this. Like, oh, okay. Yes. Okay, sure. Someone should be aware that, oh, little Johnny is no longer going to, wherever school. Mom and dad decided they're going to, do it at home. Okay, sure. I could understand. But DCF? What do you do when a family decides to move, like from out of, leave the state? Do they have to contact the town and say, by the way, little Johnny's not going to be in school next year. We're moving to Maine? Honestly, I'm asking the question because I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, you have DCF. If you want to homeschool, you will have to contact DCF. Will have to get involved. The fuck? Because they have a bang up record, which is why all of this is happening. Now look, before I continue reading, I am not going to fault many of the people, with the people with the caseloads, the caseworkers. I'm not going to point the finger and blame a lot of them. Sure, some, okay. But a lot of them are overworked, underpaid, let's face it, for what they do. I am sure every one of them experienced PTSD from the shit that they see in photos or with their own eyes in real life. Like, they go into a scene and see something. They are way overworked because, unfortunately, for some twisted reason, humans can't treat their young properly. You look at the animal kingdom, they know how to take care of their young. We don't, for some reason. So why there has to be so many caseworkers with such a tremendous amount of cases, that's a problem. That's an effing epidemic. So the fact that there are people that do fall through the cracks, I get it, because let's face it, tell me something that government has gotten involved in and made it better and streamlined it and more efficient. Corruption. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, you got me on that one. Okay, sorry. But DCF dropped the ball several times, and they got egg on their face, and now homeschoolers and homeschooling parents, they're the ones that are getting smacked. Unbelievable. Okay, government overreach and erosion of parental rights. The bill is seen as a massive overreach that replaces parental autonomy with state supervision, treating homeschooling as suspect rather than a fundamental right. Under current law, parents simply notify intent without ongoing scrutiny. The new requirements, in-person filings, annual forms, shift authority to districts and DCF, potentially violating the 14th Amendment's due process protection for family privacy. That's okay. You don't need that. Groups like the HSLDA called it a witch hunt, arguing it punishes all parents for isolated tragedies where existing child welfare laws could intervene. Yeah, they could have. And surveillance concerns. Mandatory forms create a state database of homeschoolers with DCF checks on withdrawals flagged as, quote, surveillance triggered by a lawful parental decision, end quote. Yeah, exactly. Really? Opponents fear this could lead to unwarranted investigations, data sharing, risking privacy breaches, and even jeopardizing federal funding due to the FERPA, that's a funny word, Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act violations in information sharing provisions. Let's see. Burdensome and uneven requirements. In-person appearances and annual demonstrations, portfolio and testing add logistical hurdles, especially for rural or working families, and allow subjective district judgments, leading to inconsistency across Connecticut's 169 districts. This undermines homeschooling flexibility, forcing conformity to public school standards. The Department of Education itself noted it lacks capacity to handle notifications, predicting implementation issues. Shocker. Shocker. Okay, where am I leaving off here? Unconstitutionally and discrimination. Viewed as unconstitutional for targeting homeschoolers without evidence of widespread issues, potentially violating equal protection by not applying similar scrutiny to private schools. Parents cite personal stories like withdrawing due to bullying, arguing the bill criminalizes choice. A similar 2025 bill drew nearly 2,000 opponents, and it failed. Y'all need to get to the Capitol tomorrow. That's what y'all need to do. Yeah, this bill is complete. Look, I don't know a whole lot about homeschooling. Like I said, I don't have kids. I love the fact that people can homeschool. I have met people that are homeschooled, and damn, they're smart. Like I said, I went to public school, and then I went to a trade school. I can swing a hammer, but words are hard. I understand the fact that, yes, people may take their kids out of school to hide abuse, but abuse happens with kids that are currently in public school now, like right now. Like today was a beautiful day. Teachers, did you have a student today on a day where it was in the low 70s and the sun's out wearing a hoodie all day when everybody else is in T-shirts running around, getting sweaty? They're just kind of alone wearing a hoodie. Okay, abuse happens. In my opinion, DCF, they foobarred a lot. Again, it's government. What are you going to do, right? But we're going to punish homeschoolers for this. All right. Did you get your vaccine card recently? No? Okay, good. Because I don't want that in Connecticut. But it might come here one day. Depends on who's in charge. Because HB 5044 and SB 450, is that Senate Bill 450? I thought it was 350. Anywho's, again, it's an AI search. This bill is titled An Act Establishing Connecticut Vaccine Standards. Yes, we're talking about vaccines and shit again. Was introduced on February 5th, 2026 in the Connecticut House as part of Governor Lamont's budget recommendations and referral to the Joint Committee on Public Health. We all know this is a knee-jerk reaction to, what's the guy's name? Kennedy. That's it. I'm not making fun of the guy. I don't know the guy. But basically, they took away your vaccine vaccines are not mandatory, or the huge list of mandatory vaccines is by the federal government. Either it doesn't exist or it's highly restricted. I don't remember. It doesn't matter to me because I got all the ones, when I was a tyke, and I didn't get the latest experimental bullshit. So pure blood right here. But people are freaking out because they're taking away our vaccines. No, they're not. Okay? No. All that has happened, all RFK has done, all he's done is not made you forcefully have to take it. You can take it if you want. It's kind of like, do you want to tint the windows on your car? You can if you like. You don't have to. I mean, if you don't want to. So that's basically what the federal government has done. It's like, oh, you would like the herpes vaccine or whatever, go get it. You don't have to get it. That's all they have done. All they have changed is the fact that you don't have to get it. If you want to legally drive a car on the roads in America, you have to have a driver's license. Again, if you want to legally drive on the road, you have to have a license. You no longer have to go get these vaccinations. But Connecticut is stupid, and so are many people. And it's a knee-jerk reaction because Connecticut's freaking out. They're taking away our vaccine. Nobody is forcing you. These people are just dumb. They're dumb. Sorry about the edit there. Mid-sentence, the whole system crashed. Anyways, where was I? Yes. So talking about this vaccine, HB thing, this House bill, it aims to clarify the standard of care for immunization in the state. Recent amendments incorporate language from HB 5044 into SB 450, effectively merging aspects of the proposals. Both bills build on Connecticut's 2021 elimination of religious exemptions for school vaccines, but expand authority further. Of course it does. Of course it does. Why would it not want more authority? So, again, knee-jerk reaction. So, like, some commissioner's going to come up with some list that they just pull out of their ass. This is what I feel like, and this is what you're going to have to do. Apparently. Rumor has it. Opposition is widespread. Yeah, no shit. Documented through petitions by nearly 10,000 signatures against HB 54, public statements from Republican lawmakers, advocacy groups like the Family Institute of Connecticut, and social media mobilization urging testimony for people to show up tomorrow in Hartford at the Capitol. Have your voice heard. Well, no, you would have had to have signed up today by 3 o'clock. So, but get there. Numbers. Be a body. Don't be reckless. Don't be a tool. Don't be a fool. Just be a body. Show up. Okay, residents, particularly parents, religious groups, and conservatives view the bill as an assault on freedom, with key grievances drawn from testimonies, petitions, and official criticisms. Government overreach and bypass democratic processes. The bills are criticized for handing unchecked and unilateral authority to an unelected commissioner, bypassing legislative oversight, elected representatives, and parental input in vaccine decisions. This is seen as removing checks and balances, politicizing science-based decisions, and setting a precedent for workplace or adult mandates. We did this shit like 6 years ago. Remember? Remember at work, people were being forced at some. People lost lawsuits when they sued their employers. States lost Yeah, let's go back down that path. Democrats of Connecticut, let's go back down that path, because I tell you something. You want to force injecting me and something in me, bruh. Ain't happening, bitch. All right, sorry. Where was I? House Republican leader Vincent Candelora called it a power grab and cuts into the legislator and parents. Erosion of religious and parental freedoms by weakening legal challenges under the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. The bills are accused of attacking religious liberty and forcing families to choose between health decisions and constitutional rights. I agree. I'm not a religious person. I've said that many times here. I'm happy that you are, if you are. That's awesome. Good. It's just not for me. But if your religion, you're like, yeah, I don't want this. I support you, dude. Or do that. I support your freedom of religion and you not wanting to get whatever because your God or beliefs don't allow you to or don't want you to. Okay, good. I'm on your side. These people aren't. They hate you. They've always hated you. They want power. They don't care about your God or your beliefs or your religion. They care about your money. They don't care about you. And this is both sides. This is everybody in government. Come on. Some do. I'll be real. I'm painting with a wide brush. I know. All right. Let's see here. Opponents argue parents, not government agencies, should guide medical choices with physicians, and the bills usurp parental rights. Yeah, of course it does. This builds on backlash to the 2021 exemption removal, closing courthouse doors for affected families. Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. And where does it stop? Really, where does it stop? Because who's to say someone will be appointed and they go in there and they're one of these crazy people that still wear a mask while driving in their car with their windows down and they're alone on the highway. That person could be appointed and they're going to be telling you what you have to put in your body or your kids? Nah. No, I don't think so, bro. Enough. We have enough problems in this state. This takes priority? Really? We don't have other problems in Connecticut? We do. We've got a lot of problems here. This shit ain't one. This is not one. All right. The third one I'm going to get into hits a little home for me. HB 5043. Could turn that thing, apparently, into an assault weapon. We're all going to die. No. Have you ever heard of a switch for firearms? Well, if you go online, you can look up and watch videos of, certain types of people that really appreciate the switch on their handgun. Me, I've never done it. Don't care. It's not for me. But a switch is a mechanical thing that can be, I don't know if you purchase it. Probably. Honestly, I don't know. I've never looked into it because I don't care. But it's a contraption that can be obtained in some form, way, or fashion that can be affixed to your handgun, a certain handgun, like the most popular handgun on the effing planet, and thus will modify the firearm to be essentially full auto. That's already illegal. Like, yeah, it's already illegal. But Connecticut wants to make it even worse for you and me, us law-abiding citizens, because clearly we're just going out there having wild ragers with our switches on weekends. Oh, wait, no, that's gangbangers and other, hood rats and pieces of shit. But why not? We're already bent over the desk. Come on, Governor. Give us the old good one, baby. So HB 5043, titled An Act Prohibiting the Manufacture and Sale of Convertible Pistols, was introduced on February 5th, 2026 as a governor's bill because Governor Lamont is a giant cunt. In the House, the Connecticut House, and referred to the Joint Committee on Judiciary, whatever. Judiciary public hearing scheduled for, see, I told you I'd be repeating myself and skipping this. So, this bill stems from Governor Ned Lamont's push for stricter gun measures, because we need that here in Connecticut. Backed by police chiefs, because they're little bitches too. Gun safety advocates, like Moms Demand Action, there is a whole gaggle of twats, and groups such as Connecticut Against Gun Violence. Why not just violence? Why not just violence? I'm always curious. Anyways. In response to rising seizures of converted firearms, over 50 in Hartford alone. As I've already stated, sorry. I have to read the important part of this. It would ban future sales, imports, and manufacturing of convertible pistols, semi-automatic handguns designed to accept illegal conversion devices, example switches, that enable fully automatic fire. This will go in effective July 1st of 2026. This year, 3 months from now, less than 3 months from now, this will go into effect. And it would make violations would be a Class D felony. So I could buy, I guess, or make or obtain something that could turn that into a fully automatic machine gun or machine pistol, essentially a G18, which is a legitimate firearm made by Glock. It's a G18. It's a fully automatic handgun. And no, you can't buy those. Well, unless you got the right permits and shit. But for this argument, modifying your firearm so it goes from bang to brap bang is already illegal. That's already like a huge no-no, like federal no-no. You can change your trigger. If you don't like the color of it, you're like, yeah, I want a blue one. Sure, you can do that. You want to change your barrel? Sure. You can cosmetically change things on your firearm. For those of you that don't know, I know there's people out there that don't know. Glock is basically the Lego of the firearms world. One, everybody has one, and two, there's parts and pieces everywhere for them. You can customize them, modify it, but it's a look. It's kind of like your car. You can change your muffler, you can change your stereo, you can make the speakers, better speakers. Okay, but you're not turning your Toyota Sienna into a Ferrari. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You can paint it red and put stripes on it and maybe flames, but it's never going to be a Ferrari. Most firearms, that's what you do. You change what it looks like. Someone has clearly engineered something that breaks federal law when you put it into your firearm, specifically the Glock. It's already against the law. So how is it making it stricter, more against the law, helping? It's not. But the big thing is, it's not the switch he is talking about banning. It's the firearms that can accept it. Wait a minute, what? Yeah. So the most popular handgun on the face of the planet, the Glock 19 specifically, arguably one of the most pop. Okay, you get what I'm saying? Okay, gun world, gun guys. Okay, you feel my vibe, guys. Okay. So you're not going to be able to purchase them in the state of Connecticut or legally obtain one. Like, well, you can't technically buy a handgun across state lines anyway. That's already a federal law. Really? The most popular, most sold handgun you want to no longer have sold. Okay. In a state that is 48th, 48th out of 50 in growth, Stanley Black & Decker is shuttering one of their facilities, laying off 300 plus people. 2 firearm manufacturers already left the state. 48th in growth. And now you want to restrict the sale of the most popular line of firearms on the planet. You, sir, are a certifiable grade A dipshit. Opposition is significant, with dozens of writing testimonies. I'm sure there's a few hundred groups like, we all know CCDL, NRA. The NRA is fucking useless. I'm sorry, CCDL, they're the way to go. All right, government overreach and infringement on Second Amendment rights, per the usual. The bill is viewed as a draconian ban on an entire class of commonly owned popular handguns. Example, many Glock models, punishing law-abiding citizens for criminal misuse. Critics argue it's unconstitutional on, quote, shaky, unconstitutional footing, end quote, and erodes rights without due process. Because once they ban one, motherfucker, they're banning the rest. They already started that years ago with the long guns, and I have a little story for that at the end of this that hits home for me. I hate this state. I hate Governor Lamont, and I hate Malloy. I hate this state. Mark Oliva, sorry if I said your name wrong, dude, called it misguided, and CCDL urged focusing on illegal converters instead. Exactly! If people started putting uber loud exhaust systems on their cars. I remember, I think California had a thing with a modification called whistlers. Yeah, if you think the fart cans are annoying, have a fart can with a thing that makes it whistle. Ooh, extremely annoying. You don't ban the cars. You don't say you can't sell Toyotas and Hondas no more because we don't like the modified. No, you get rid of the exhaust. Duh. Effing amazing. The criminals already ignore this. Let's see. Conversion devices and redundancy and ineffectiveness. Conversion devices and machine guns are already illegal federally and statewide. Opponents say the bill redundantly bans legal pistols while criminals will ignore it. No shit, Sherlock. Did you know? Are you aware that criminals right now have magazines with more than 10 rounds in them? I bet you they didn't get the memo. Those silly bees. Public comments emphasizing strengthening laws on illegal use rather than restricting sales. Exactly. So here's the point. Let me close my notes here. As I have already said, Connecticut is 48th in growth. We've got Stanley Black & Decker just shuttered one of their buildings. We had firearms manufacturers leaving. Now this dickhead wants to ban the sale, essentially, of the most popular handgun that's not doesn't fly off shelves, but it's sold every day by the dozens. How is that going to affect firearm dealers and stores? Sure, you got the big one in East Hartford. What is it? Bass Pro or Cabela's, whatever the hell it is. They're fine. They won't care. They sell all sorts of shit. They're good. They're a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. They don't care. They can eat it. Oh, you guys don't want to sell on those? Fine. They'll take them off the shelves. It's no big deal. What about other local stores? What about the gun store? Huh? What about them? How about Newington Gun Exchange? How about them? Let's see. What's another one there? There's another one on the Berlin Turnpike that, yeah. How about them? Are they going to be able to keep afloat if one of the largest or most common things they sell they can no longer sell? I mean, all of these places already took a huge hit when they put in the bullshit laws after the tragedy that happened in Newtown. Because when you're selling stuff that are $500 to $1,000 each, and if you sell, I don't know, one an hour, that's a pretty good day. That's a pretty good day. And once that law went in, a lot of long guns couldn't be sold in this state anymore. So now what? But we're not banning your guns, right? Right? Remember this shit in November. Elections have consequences. You may not be a gun person. You know somebody who is. Because I have stated before, you may not be a gun person. You may hate them. You may think that this is a good thing. You may think all guns should be banned and all that stuff. Okay, fine. You do realize every time you are at Walmart, Target, Whole Foods, probably, right? Well, maybe not Whole Foods, but definitely at Walmart or Target or Home Depot, someone is there with a firearm. And if some jackass, some jagaloon wants to FAFO that day with their firearm or a machete or a knife or do something stupid, you may not have a gun and you may not want one, and that's fine. That's okay. I don't hate you. You're entitled to your opinions. That's cool. But there's somebody else there that will tell you to get behind them. And that's me. I don't want that to be me. I really hope somebody else has to take charge. But people like me exist to protect, and we protect people like you. Yeah, sure. Let's make it harder for us to protect ourselves, our families, our neighbors, and even anti-gunners like you when you're waiting in line at the grocery store because someone's having, some kind of, civil dispute over custody of their kids and wants to go shoot up a place. Yeah, let's make it harder. How are these stores going to be able to survive financially? Honestly, I don't know. Sorry, you're a vegetable cart, but you can't sell oranges anymore. Oh, okay, I was only selling oranges, apples, and bananas, but thanks. I guess I'll try to feed, put food on the table over the next few months. I hope I don't have to lay anybody off. This is ridiculous. All right, real quick on the story because I want to get this wrapped up. I want to get the hell out of here. I want to go play some video games. This state sucks so hard. As many of you know, my father died in October last year. The only thing in this world my father owned, the only worldly possession he owned that I ever wanted, he purchased in 1992. It was a 20-inch heavy barrel, sporting barrel, AR, Colt, chambered in .223. Thing looked like an M16 from Vietnam era. Thing was gorgeous. Because of this state, that is the only thing my father ever possessed I wanted. I can't have it. I don't have it. And much like my father, I will never see that rifle again. Thanks, Connecticut. Thanks. He punished people like me. And then the pieces of shit that are out there in the revolving door system that you so care about is committing all of this bullshit and shooting up the place. You know who the gangbangers are, and you don't do shit about it. How often do firearm charges get thrown out in court? But yeah, I'm the bad guy. We're the bad guys. Sure. My dad was a bad guy, right? Fuck this state. If you actually give a shit, remember this stuff in November, folks. And if you can, tomorrow, get to the state capitol. Like I said, don't be a jackass. Don't be a dumbass. Don't throw nothing. Like certain people did in New York over the weekend. Don't do anything stupid. because you only draw negative attention to yourself. Because let's face it, the press ain't on your side. So if you can get to the Capitol, or contact the people that have a say in all this stuff, contact your legislators, contact them, email them, be a pain in their ass. This is their job. This is their job. And if they want to make dumbass rules, then I guess they have to listen to us. And they're going to do it anyway. Everything I just said, you honestly think we could have 30,000 people at the Capitol tomorrow. They're still going to push this shit through because they don't care about you. It's one-party rule in this state. One-party rule. This state sucks so hard. Thank you for watching. If you like this episode, I know, total downer, man. Total downer. It's getting warmer, though. All right. I'm going to end on a positive note. I saw motorcycles today because it's getting warmer. it's not, the birds are singing. I heard the robins this morning. Right? All right. I'm going to end the show on positive, right? The birds are out. It's nice. I can't wait to get bird crap all over my windshield. But the robins were out this morning. It's nice. It's nice out. So thank you for listening. If you like this episode, give it a like, share, and all that good shit. If you want to follow me on X, I am at Eric Not Sorry. And on Facebook, I am at Eric Unfiltered Podcast. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you for checking me out. Catch you next time.